Alright, y'all. So, I'm here to teach y'all how to apply Gotenks assist in neutral. Right? So, I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. I'm just getting straight to it. So, basically, the most simple frame kill that I came up with in applying this shit in neutral is actually I started with ID back button, right? ID back button, Gotenks assist into 5S. And the thing you always have to remember is that you have to call Gotenks assist before you 5S. Because if you 5S and call Gotenks assist at the same time, it will not work. So you have to make sure, even if you call Gotenks a little bit earlier, just a tiny bit, it will actually grab him. Just like that, right? So as long as you call Gotenks before the 5S, you are guaranteed to at least jail and or catch them out of whatever they're doing. If they're not blocking, if they're doing key blasts and stuff like that, it'll smoke them instantaneously. Another way of applying this this in neutral as well is CTF. Call Gotenks right after the recovery, right? And then 5S. Now I say to do this as well to stop people from jumping, right? Because CTF brings them instantly back down, which is actually really good. And for people that be trying to double jump and super jump and stuff like that, you catch their attempt at double jumping after the CTF, which is actually very good. And then you get the free, you get a free combo. You literally catch, I guess it's some sort of trip guarding. Like sometimes they try to, or you catch pre-jump frames. Sometimes you try to, you can catch them like while they're coming down right on the floor. If you do, that, and you come right after them and stuff like that, and be ready to convert. It's a really good strong neutral tool, and it helps or neutral game plan as well as like sniping people out of like what they want to do in the neutral game, right? So if you're getting key blast at in neutral, Trunks is actually, he does very well against key blast. We all know CTF smokes key blast and assists. We all know 5S smokes the key blast as well, and we all know that his swords, they can actually cut the key blast as well. And when they make contact, he can actually go straight into his 5S or CTF, which basically can cancel out a lot of characters that revolve around key blast, neutral, and stuff like that, which I feel like is hella good. So that's a couple ways to apply that in neutral. I found out a couple other different ways to kind of like switch it up when people start getting wise to the jump back or the IAD into 5S and stuff like that. They kind of get antsy and be ready to like super dash you kind of quickly, which it is no problem at all, because once you get the hang of the timing, then you won't have to do jump back assist, because the timing is basically free, bruh. Like it's not hard at all. And to always be ready to confirm as well, because no matter what, if they block it or if they do get hit, you can cancel into feint CTF if you don't know, which is 214S, but you have to hold S when you press it. He does a feint CTF, which covers a good amount of the screen, and you're able to make conversions like this from basically full screen. And it also covers a lot of ground, which means your corner carry actually gets to be a little bit further. I think that's really good for Trunks, because Trunks, I feel like he does really well in neutral and in the corner, because his solo functionality in the corner is actually somewhat higher, I think, than some other characters. I'm not gonna say most characters, but I think it's a little bit higher than other characters. Now another way to apply this in neutral as well is you can flip key blast and called Gotenks assist. This you do not have to time because of the flip key blast. The hit stun on it is basically the hit stun that you would do, or that you would have in the corner to confirm with your shining slash ender, right? So he has more hit stun on that one than he does on like regular jump back or regular jump up key blast, right? Because if I were to do this and call Gotenks, it's not gonna work. But if I were to flip and do it, it catches like free because he's like floating in the air for mad long. See? So I started doing this in neutral, you know, kind of like to see what's going down. Like if people are kind of like trying to dash under me and stuff like that, I would kind of like backflip, do stuff like that. Even if I am neutral jumping and I'm kind of like going through it, I kind of like, you know, I kind of like move around, flip, do that. It does catch it. I think it actually is more successful than I actually thought it really would be. You know, the way I apply it, which is actually pretty surprising because I felt like a lot of people would be super dashing me, but I guess that they're trying to they be over analyzing stuff and all that. But just know that this actually works a lot more than I ever expected. So you know, that's definitely a thing. So that's another way of applying it in neutral, you know, and like getting your hits in, stuff like that. And as well as having his CTF, you can stop people from jumping as well. I don't know if I had mentioned this before, but you can stop people from jumping. And the frame kill basically is you wait after the recovery of CTF, called Gotenks 5S, and you know, it's pretty much free after that. The reason why I like this better than the regular jump back 5S is because of CTF itself, right? CTF smokes assist and it smokes key blast, and it's a super oppressive move that covers most of the screen, right? Because he dashes forward and he gets like at least 75% of the screen. Now, people that usually try to approach, of course they use their assist, of course they use key blast, stuff like that, but CTF can really negate the startup frames of the assist and their key blast. And as soon as they, you know, try to approach you thinking that they have their assist backing them up, you can easily call Gotenks and they get smoked because they think that they can still approach. But instead, sometimes when they see that their assist got smoked, they like to jump back because it's a disengage, right? So as soon as your assists are gone, you jump back, but you can catch a lot of the pre-jump frames sometimes with the 5S Gotenks assist after you CTF, and you know, it becomes free after that. And there's sometimes where if you're closer than full screen, right? If you're a little bit closer than full screen, you can call Gotenks CTF, and it's the same thing as, you know, the 5S situation, which is really, really good in my opinion. I think that, to be honest, like, this is really, really strong for Trunks, and I do want more people to utilize this more with Gotenks and Trunks if you're playing the two together. With the A assist, I think it's mad strong, and it gives Trunks a good neutral assist and a good mix-up assist all in one assist. Like, literally, I think it's actually the best assist for him, in my opinion. But in a little bit, I'm actually gonna start telling y'all about the block string ways of doing this, right? To actually know when to call Gotenks in a block string to get the max amount of plus frames. And I'll be right back with it. Alright, y'all, so we already talked about the neutral side of things and kind of like the timing of how to use Gotenks assist with Trunks and his toolkit, right? So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the block strings and how to set up Gotenks assist and when to call it to get the max amount of plus frames that Trunks can get, so he can get his better mix-ups, right? Like TK and stuff like that. So really, honestly, it took me a little bit to kind of figure this out all the way, but you know, of course I ended up getting it after a while. I've been playing Gotenks for like a while. I did drop him for a little bit, and kind of like searched some other characters, but I came back around to them, and now I actually, you know, I feel like my most synergized team. But I think the most consistent timing to actually call Gotenks assist is actually going to be on Trunks' knee, right? So when you do a block string and you do the knee, right, you have to call Gotenks as soon as you put the knee in, right? The light that's going to be 5LL right there. And he usually ranges around plus 38 to plus 42. Most of the time it's around that area, right? Sometimes it differs if I do it like this, right? Because it's 37 now. But if you do it like this, then it's 36. But it's like the timing is kind of, it's hard to get consistently to up to 40 because of how his auto combo works, right? And plus his auto combo is -7, so you're losing like a frame or two out of that to kind of cancel. But most of the time you can get up to 39, 40 frames. One time I think I've gotten up to 41, and another setup I think I got 42. So I will show you those other two in a second. So the general way of kind of doing this, and the way I do it most of the time, is 2L, 5LL, and then I call him on the second L, right? So I'm gonna go through it again like this, and you get the higher amount of plus frames. I'm not gonna say that's the highest because I did just get 39 a little bit ago. So this generally is the easiest slash, I would say, probably a better way to use this assist like that. More or less in the corner. I don't try to do the auto combo as much mid-screen because people can guard cancel it. But you know, most people don't really do it because they feel like I'm gonna mess up on the mix, and they actually end up entirely wrong. But you know, it's cool. But that is one way you can set it up as well. I will show you the two other ways you can do it that actually beat card cancel, and I'll show that right now, which is actually, this actually is a really good setup, or a way to set up the assist to get your plus frames, the max amount of plus frames, because the key blast is only -5, and if they guard cancel at any point where you do like the knee or into the key blast, right? If they guard cancel, you can cancel into 2H on reaction, right? Or you can block, which is like a really good thing for Trunks because he has unsafe mediums, sadly, which kind of sucks, but he can block after, which is really good. And you can also do this as well, the 5M, which he can block after, and he gets the same, he can get the same mix, right? You know, TK, other side, all that stuff, which is really good in my opinion. Because as well as this being done mid-screen, you see how far the character ends up away from you, and if you're able to TK and hit that other side from here, I think that's actually mad hard to block, because I've never seen anybody block that like on reaction from being this far, because you're going from literally a whole maybe 2 characters away to being right behind them. That's kind of wild, bro. But yeah, so these are the other 2 ways to set it up as well, which is really strong. Plus I think there's plus 37 and plus 39 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it definitely does kinda like a little bit, it differentiates sometimes. Cause see, now it's hitting 33, but I hit 39. But you can get the same amount of mix. If you're trying to TK, hitting 30 frames isn't bad. As long as it's above 30 frames, you should be straight. And as well as having the 5M ender is still pretty good. You know, he's getting over 35 frames, so these are other ways to set it up. There are different ways to do it as well too. You can do that into flip, but you would have to cancel, and it's I think it's harder to kind of steer sometimes. You can do a 5H 5S, that also works out too, but you know, it's a little wonky at times, but it works out. There are some situations where you can cancel in the feint CTF, but you have to do it late like that, and it stays on him, and you're able to get, you know, like a very close, you know, cross up, stuff like that. And those are like the general ways of applying that assist in block strings, and for your mix-ups and stuff like that. You feel me? But yeah, that's a general way. And I'm gonna show you a little bit of bonus tips that I like to you know, kind of do low key, on the lowest of key, and that'll be in this next clip. Alright, y'all, so the bonus little tip slash trick that I'm gonna teach y'all real quick is actually when you do it's gonna be partially neutral slash mix, okay? So the thing is, like, when you do, you know, the neutral I guess tech, when you do the neutral tech, right, when it jails them, okay, when it jails them, you have a cool amount of options, all right? So I think you have maybe 3 to 4 different options you can do. So of course you have the original in approach, right? You can do that, of course. You can also do this, right? And you can approach that way, right? Kind of like have your opponent on their toes a little bit, you feel me? Kind of like get them kind of like a little bit flustered, because, you know, like, oh, dude flipping around and stuff, like, I don't know what to, you know, I don't know if this shit gonna go crazy or something, you know. But you can also, if you got it like that, you can TK flip, right? TK flipping actually catches a lot of people off guard, because it's literally just him. It's just him, like, literally full screen, and then, like, you blink half a second and he's there. Like, he's literally, it's maybe like a full second that he crosses over and he hits you with an overhead, and it's a very low overhead. Like, I literally have mad space in front of me hitting you with that, right? So there's kind of like different ways you can apply this, right? Like the one I just showed you, you do the regular approach. You can flip, TK flip, right? Or you can kind of turn it into like conditioning, right? You do this, and you get a little double flip mix going. You feel me? You can get a little creative with it, right? And it can really like throw people off, right? Like, because they're only expecting you to, you know, start pressure. But if you save your other flip, your air flip, you'll be able to kind of like mix it up a little bit and just keep them on their toes, right? Don't make Trunks easy to block, right? We got to be more creative with how we, you know, flip with Trunks. So that's another way as well. And also you can do this into TK, which that actually gives you a left right. Like, if you're fast enough, you can actually left right him. And of course, like the way that people, you know, discovered you can left right from this too as well, with regular flip, right? Because people be thinking you can go over them, but you stay same side. All that stuff, you know, you can kind of switch it up, because then it can become a mix up in its own. And hitting getting that hit or even trying to, you know, condition them is actually, I think, really, really good, because then it makes people think about the more options, the other options that you have, right? Which gets them even more flustered. So that's just that's a little something that, you know, I wanted to put in here, let people know that you can get creative. Don't be like, you know, don't be bland with the character. Kind of think outside the box. Do shit that people would think that you wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really wouldn't think, like, bro, man's not gonna TK from full screen that fast. But I would do it. Like, I really would. Like, TK in neutral, I feel like is actually a mad strong tool. It shoots over beams and it shoots over key blasts pretty well. Like, if you're able to kind of steer it the right way, it's mad good. It really is. But you know, that's gonna be another talk for another day when I talk about my Trunks tips and tricks video. Teach y'all a little bit more about staggers and kind of like how to, you know, how to use his toolkit to make him a little bit more, you know, harder to block. If that, I guess if that doesn't explain it, like, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Or if, like, you've ever played me, you would understand, like, how I kind of use his toolkit to get people, you know, out of their comfort zone in blocking, right? Because some people like to sit there and block Trunks, but a lot of people don't like to sit and block, you know, my Trunks, because the way I use his toolkit. And I want to teach y'all and show y'all how I use his toolkit to kind of like make his stagger game and some other things a little bit more potent. But that's gonna be enough for me in this video. I appreciate y'all peeping it real quick. If y'all can, if y'all want to, on God, if you want to sub, you can. The sub is free. Like, you just click that shit, bro, and you basically get free Trunks tech. On God, it ain't no OnlyFans subscription. Y'all can just do that and not pay money. You getting free tech. You getting free tech and gameplay. On God. you taking all my information, all my brain cells in these videos and stuff. You putting that from this video into your brain, and you keeping it, bruh, for free. So the least you could do is sub, right? You could sub, you could like the video, you feel me? Tell your friends, you know what I'm saying? People that play this game, you know, if you want to get into Trunks, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Follow me, follow Sage, follow LK. You know what I'm saying? Do all that, bruh. But please support the boy, support me, for real, for real. I would love it so much if you can be a part of my squad. And that's gonna be it for me. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.